Hello everyone. Today, as part of our IEP assignment outlining major economic problems affecting India, I have decided to talk about financial constraints due to the subsidy burden in India. While subsidies are necessary to include the vulnerable sections of our society in economic activity to support them, as well as to ensure price stability so that everyone can afford essential commodities, subsidies do come with their fair share of concerns, and they cause serious pressures on the fiscal capabilities and financial constraints that affect our nation. So let's understand the subsidy burden effect that India is facing today. India primarily, or let's say the government of India primarily provides subsidies in multiple sectors, but three major sectors take up a large chunk of subsidies being provided, which are food, fertilizers, and fuel. Food is the largest component in which the government provides subsidies through various schemes such as the public distribution scheme and the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana and so on. Next comes fertilizers and also fuel. So when it comes to fuel for stuff like LPG and previously diesel as well, a lot of subsidies are being provided. Even in electricity, a lot of farmers get free electricity, and we can see that such subsidies are contributing to a major stress for power distribution companies in our nation, right? And in FY 23-24 alone, India paid around 5.9 lakh crore rupees in subsidies, which is a huge amount, right? So what is the impact of these subsidies on our nation? Primarily, it is that the fiscal gap is widening, right? What is the impact of this? The impact of the fiscal gap widening is that we aim for a target of 3% of fiscal deficit, but it is around 5.1% right now. What this means is that we are having to borrow more money, and which means interest payments are accumulating, they are rising. Because of these interest payment pressures, we are not able to invest in infrastructure projects, even though there are ambitious projects like the National Infrastructure Pipeline. A lot of delays are being witnessed, especially in road and railway projects. We can see that the Vande Bharat trains have been installed, implemented and running, but the tracks are not up to date so as to promote the amount of speed that the trains can go at. Apart from these, there are the obvious inflationary pressures, right, that come with a wide fiscal deficit. So what can we do about this as a nation? What can we do to sort of curb this huge burden that we are accumulating because of large amounts of subsidies being given, right? What we can do is we can kind of revise and have a better targeting of our subsidies and make sure that only those who actually need it and those who require it are receiving them, because currently that is not the case. There are many incidents of people falsifying documents and people attaining subsidies just for the sake of attaining them without ever needing them. There are other cases where we hear that the subsidies given don't really reach the end user and don't benefit them because of a lot of pilferage in between, a lot of corruption, a lot of middlemen involved, and so on. So we have to target subsidies better and kind of move towards eventually phasing out non-essential subsidies. For example, electricity for all farmers. There might be many farmers who don't need it, right? Also, we can go towards market pricing, right, where we can reduce direct subsidies, or we can encourage private and public sector participation and collaborations to sort of reduce the dependence on the government for such subsidies. And this is something we really need to focus on. It is the need of the hour so that we can restore our financial health and move towards a more sustainable economy. Thank you.